Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you for being here and supporting the Conduits channel today. I am hoping to deliver you a beautiful reading and message about you and your divine masculine. You've met this incredible person and it has ignited you on the journey of all journeys. That's at least up into the knowledge that I have right now, this is the journey of all journeys, okay, here on earth. This is your ascension. You don't meet your twin flame until you're ready to leave this place, but not like leave it, right now, this minute or anything. I mean, ascend this realm, right? Graduate to the next. That's what I mean. This life that you're living right now needs to be allowed and lived because it's your ascension. You are climbing that stairway. You are reaching the heavens and you are recognizing now that you are the conduit, the one that brings your heaven here into earth. And your heaven is what you want it to be. Divine feminine, and the doorway, the link, the initiator of this is through the divine masculine. To talk a little bit about energy, right? You're the one going through this awakening, and it was ignited by your divine masculine, who's probably completely unaware of the fact that you are even going through this and that they've even done this for you. And even if you've tried to explain it to them, they probably reject it on a certain level, right? But if you think about the nature of, the energies and why you're the divine feminine versus why they're the divine masculine. Divine feminine is the receptive energy. Divine masculine is the penetrating energy. Okay. We see that, in the physical forms of the male and the female, right? Now, divine feminine and divine masculine energy is not male or female. Every person, every male or female who has a body representation of the energy actually within themselves contains both energies, right? You are both masculine and feminine energy. But your body represents one or the other. Why? Because it's part of the dualistic blueprint of life. But within you, you have both energies. That's the Kundalini energy that's rising up the spine, okay? You in your twin flame relationship are the feminine energy and they are the masculine energy, right? But that is not, again, male or female. That has everything to do with the interaction, the polarization between the two of you, and that relationship to the soul. So divine feminine energy is receptive. Masculine is penetrative, okay? So the interaction between the two of you, the reason why you're the divine feminine is you're the one going through the awakening. The energy of the masculine coming into the energy of the feminine pierced the heart, right? Created the Kundalini, caused that energy to rise up within you and is, causing you to go through an awakening. Now, divine masculine is going to go through awakening too. It's just not going to look the same as it does for you, right? Because they are a representation of the other opposite energy. So it's not going to perform in their life the way that it does in yours. And that's okay. You don't need to figure that out for them. You need to embrace yours. Receptive energy is all about receiving the divine, being open to that source. You are the channel, the conduit of that energy. Okay, so I want you to look at that from a different perspective and, kind of see where that takes you. Explore that a little, okay? So today we're going to take a look at your relationship with your divine masculine. And this first card is a card for you, divine feminine. We're going to look at your energy right now, okay? And for this, we have 5 of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so with Five of Pentacles in reverse, Divine Feminine, your energy today is maybe full of a lot of worry, fear, fear of a lot of things, fear of how things are going to happen, how things are going to work out, how it's all going to come together, whether or not you're doing everything right, whether or not you're making mistakes that you can't fix. You know, are you failing at this whole thing? Are you failing at life? Are you failing at your ascension? Have you failed your divine masculine? Have you failed your children? Have you failed your partners, your karmic situations? A lot of worrying going on in your sphere right now. That's okay, but that's not where we want to stay, right? Fear serves a purpose. The darkness serves the light, but the light does not serve the darkness, okay? Fear serves as a push toward love. So fear serves love, but love does not serve fear, okay? One is greater than the other. Jesus, right, said, my Father and I are one, but my Father is greater than I. What does that mean? If they are one, how can the Father be greater? Well, your soul, that source connection, serves or is this, your body and your mind are one with that, right? But your soul does not serve the mind and the body. The mind and the body serve the soul. Okay, so the God within you is the creator of the mind and the body. And so they are at one with the mind and the body. But the mind and the body are not as great as the creator. So the mind and the body are the creation, and they are at one with the creator, but the creator is always greater than the creation. So there's a little something to think about as well, Divine Feminine. You're kind of going through all this fear, but there's value and purpose in it, but you're not the fear itself. You are the love. The fear takes you out of the center of remembering that you are the love. But you already are that which you seek. Fear makes you think you've lost it, or fear makes you think that you don't have it. Fear makes you forget that you are it. Fear makes you think you need to seek it and that it's somehow pushed away from you. But love is what you are. No one can give it to you and no one can take it away from you. So you don't need to stay in a place of fear. But that is easier said than done in our mortal perspectives, right? This isn't what we've been taught. This isn't how we've been conditioned, right? We've been conditioned into a world of fear, forgetting our true source. But this is your ascension, Divine Feminine, so you are remembering, okay? This is a beautiful card for you, Divine Feminine. It shows me that although you've gone through this, which is a lot of the dark night of the soul energy, right? You're awakening and it's serving you to look at the shadows, but not to stay in them, to recognize that you can transcend them. That's awesome. Okay, so that's kind of where you're at right now. And that has, of course, a lot to do with the awakening process that has been initiated and ignited by you and your twin flame meeting and coming together. So this next card is for your divine masculine. Okay, this next card is your divine masculine. And this one just fell down to the ground. So this is the one we're going to use here, which is Two of Swords, but in the reverse. So Two of Swords in the reverse means that your divine masculine is experiencing a lot of confusion. They're feeling very indecisive. There's too much information and they don't really know how to reconcile that. They feel like they need to make some kind of a compromise in their life, but they don't know which way to go. They're like, okay, well, what's right and what's wrong? And what that's creating is a feeling of procrastination, since they don't have a clear direction on which way to go and how to respond or react. it kind of makes them feel paralyzed. Or have you ever heard of analysis paralysis? Your divine masculine has experienced something called analysis paralysis. They're going through a lot of change and they're experiencing a lot, and because of that, it's kind of like information overload, and so they just don't know. They don't know what to do with all of it. And that's okay, because sometimes we have to sit in that place for a period of time, and then the answers just come to us when we're ready. All of a sudden, it's like, lots and lots of pieces of puzzle on the table, but slowly you start to create a frame with those puzzle pieces, and then slowly you start to fill in the center. And at first it feels like chaos with everything kind of all over the place and nothing makes sense. But then as each piece of the puzzle gets placed in its proper place, suddenly the picture starts to come together, and then you have direction, and it gets easier and easier and easier up until that very last piece is slid into place, and then you know exactly what's going on. And so your divine masculine is experiencing life kind of like that. So they're at a place right now, kind of at the beginning of this journey, where they're very confused about their emotions, about the circumstances of their life, and how to progress and move forward. So patience with your divine masculine and trusting in the universe divine feminine while they go through what it's going through is going to serve you well. Not worrying and fearing about what's going on with your divine masculine, but instead going within, focusing on yourself, and having faith that that same source that's holding you up and sending you all the synchronicity and beautiful aspects of your awakening is doing the same thing for them, because the same spirit that flows through you is the same spirit that flows through them. So of course it is. Why would it be anything other than that? You really can't mess this up, divine feminine, even though your mind will come in with a lot of patterns to tell you that you can. All right, so this next card here, this next card is the relationship between the two of you, okay? Kind of what's going on and where it's at right now. All right, the Magician in reverse. So right now in your relationship with your divine masculine, there's probably a lot of scattered energy. This comes most likely for a lot of you due to the fact that you may be in that runner chaser phase, right? What some people call separation. I don't like a lot of these terms because they kind of point toward a truth that I feel is an illusion. It's not true. Like, separation between the two of you is an illusion, right? It seems like truth from the mind's perspective. Well, they're over there and I'm over here, so we're separate. They haven't talked to me for a period of time, or, I can't contact them because they've got me blocked. That feels like separation. But that's because that's all from the five senses, right? The worldly perspective that's coming from the creation itself. You are greater than that. You are the creator. They are the creator. There's at the level of the heart, the level of the soul, you and your divine masculine are one at that center. And so separation is not a real thing, but it feels that way. Okay, it really does, right? Especially because we've been conditioned into the bodies, and so we see things through the five senses. We have to kind of learn to ignore the five senses. Neville Goddard is a fantastic source if you want to look into a little bit of information on kind of overcoming the five senses and stepping into that sixth sense, that spirit self, right? That's a great source to go to. But right now, there's maybe a feeling of like things are not, like the potential between the two of you hasn't been fulfilled. Okay, and I'd say maybe there's some truth in that. However, that's also an illusion, right? It all depends on how you're looking at it. From a cosmic spiritual perspective, no, everything's happening exactly as it's meant to. But from a worldly perspective, through, our conditioning, we're like, yeah, but look what it could be. And it's not that way because of this circumstance and that circumstance and this circumstance. That's because the mind is so narrowly focused on the happenings and doesn't see the big picture. But the soul sees around corners that the mind cannot, right? God sees around corners that we cannot. And so I think that there is going to be a period of time for you and your divine masculine, and this is given to you as a gift, even though it feels like a curse, for that inner stuff to go on in your world and in their world. For that, it's a transformation. It's the caterpillar right now going into the chrysalis and then emerging as the butterfly, right? And there's so much beauty in that metaphor. The butterfly, the caterpillar butterfly metaphor is such a perfect way to describe what it is that you're going through with your divine masculine. And what's going to come out on the other side of that is going to be beautiful and miraculous. Okay, so you're just going through a transformation, and that's okay. That's okay. Parts of that transformation might be difficult and painful, and parts of it might be extraordinarily beautiful and miraculous. Embrace both. Remember, the darkness serves the light. Okay, and you are the light. So the darkness is there to serve you in some way or another, which is oftentimes through lessons of experience in order to help you hone in and refine your bullseye. Okay, refine you. It's like the phoenix being refined through the fire and emerging new and refreshed. Right? The butterfly being refined by the cocoon. All right. Advice for you and your divine masculine. Advice. All right. 3 of Swords in reverse. You've got 3 of Swords. Now, this is always a card that kind of gives us direction on maybe how to proceed in difficult situations. Be humble. Surrender. I used to hate that word at the early parts of my journey. Now I love it. Okay, I love it because now I understand. Before, from the place of the ego, I saw that as like a weakness. Like, what do you want me to surrender to? I was pretty dang bitter. I'm going to be honest with you guys. At the early parts of my journey, I was quite angry with the universe. I was quite angry with God. I gave God a good chewing out many different times, right? I was not happy about what was going on with me and my twin flame, and the dark night of the soul was excruciatingly painful, and I was literally going from breath to breath, minute to minute, trying to get through it, as I'm sure it was like that for you as well. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. There is no breakup in your history or loss in your history that will come close to the extraordinary pain that you feel at that beginning part of your journey when your divine masculine seems or appears to run from you. But with this card, the source is trying to say to you, be humble, allow yourself time for recovery, take radical responsibility for where you're at. You know, give yourself the space and time needed in order to go through this transformation. Focus on you. Give yourself some self-care. Okay, this is the same for them as well. Stop worrying so much about what's going on in their world, because that's actually just a distraction from what you need to look at in your own world. Sometimes it's so much easier for us to look at other people and to push everything out from ourselves rather than going within and doing the work that we need to on ourselves. So really taking a hard look and knowing who we are, why we think the way we think, where the patterns came from. And it's not so much about anything, like we don't want to hold on to it as our identity, but rather see where it's coming from and then transcend it and create the identity that we want. We are in a world full of people wearing masks, right? Looking at the creation itself. You could say the mask is the creation, right? It's the avatar, it's that body, right? And part of that is the identity we create around it. But oftentimes what we're living through is an inauthentic self because it was an identity that was given to us by the world. And self-realization, self-actualization is you coming into this world the way that you, the soul, desire and want to. It's a place of authenticity. No one can bring into this universe what you can. You've been created as a perfectly unique blueprint of something that only you can bring into this world. I can't do it for you, and you can't do it for me, right? We're here and we are not special, yet we are also very special. We are unique, but we're also not. So, no one's above anyone else and no one's below. We're all here with something special and we're all going through something similar, yet it's also very, very different. So there's something within you that needs to come into this world, and that's what this transformation is all about. So take that time, stop worrying about what's going on over here, and instead focus on going within and tapping into that divine power within you, that divine connection that you have to source. And I apologize that let me see if turning this light off makes it so you guys can see a little better. I feel like my lights today are, you know what, that's so much better, isn't it? Yeah, I'm leaving that off. It's a very bright room and I don't like the way it's set up. I don't film from the same place all the time. A lot of reasons behind it, but I have two homes essentially, and I've got two setups. And so this one is a little bit bright. I'm going to leave it like this for now because you can see the cards so much better. That's why my table looks different in some videos versus others, because I have two different setups. All right, this last card is likely outcome, okay? So for this, we have Knight of Swords. This is a likely outcome, but again, you are the creator. So if you consent to this as being your outcome, then it may show up this way. But if you don't want this to be your outcome, then say no. Okay? That's it. You are bound by nothing other than what you believe yourself to be bound by. So if you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. That's the way everything in life works. Everything. You do not have to consent to any of it. Okay? It's through belief, not action. It's through feelings that you consent, not through action. Action follows the feeling. All right, so for this, we have Knight of Swords. Okay, so with this, we have a big lifestyle change that's going to come to place for both you and your divine masculine. Things are not going to remain the same in the way that they are now. You can expect big changes. Maybe there's going to be a big move, some breakups happening, jobs will be changing, environments will be changing. But this is all going to happen as a result of the fact that inner change is taking place between you and your divine masculine individually. And so it's like when you look in a mirror, right? You see a reflection. But if you want to change what's in the reflection, you can't manipulate the mirror, right? You can't touch the mirror and make the mirror change the reflection. You can even break that mirror and you can actually manipulate the mirror and create 1,000 shards, but in each shard that you look at, you're going to see the same reflection, right? Life is like that. Everything external to you, everything that's happening in the 3D is a mirror to what's going on within you, which is why you have to look at consent. What are you consenting to? Without really realizing that you're doing it. That's why this inner journey is so important. Because the only way to change the reflection in the mirror is to recognize that there is a source of the reflection. If you change the source of the reflection, then the reflection will show you something different. Okay, and so because you are changing inside, because your divine masculine is changing inside, but mostly because of you, divine feminine, because this is your ascension and this experience that you're having. So it's mostly you from your perspective. From them, it's mostly them. But for you, it's mostly you. Being repetitive there, but you know what I'm saying. That is the beauty of this relationship. And that's why there's going to be some things that could ignite some more fear in you. But that's just coming from the mind, not understanding what's going on. But as you transcend and keep going further down this rabbit hole of ascension, I guess that's kind of like a weird thing to say, right? Down the rabbit hole of ascension. I guess coming up from that rabbit hole. Maybe we jumped down into the rabbit hole when we came here. Now we're going back up again. I'm going to change it. So the further you go up in your ascension, the more this is going to make sense and become second nature to you. And you're going to see a lot of change as a result in your exterior world. Don't be afraid of it. I was listening to, I do not remember his name. He was great. I found him recently on YouTube. But he was saying that, to practice non-attachment, your body is going to be attached to certain things, just like your body is attached to your divine masculine. But you, the soul, are not attached, right? So you notice that your body is attached to things of the physical world. It has to eat, it has to do certain things. But you, the soul, are not attached to what the body is attached to, right? That allows you to transcend and master over the body. And that's what's going on with you and your divine masculine. Now, if you guys would not mind hitting the like and subscribe if you have not already done so, I would very much appreciate it. We really enjoy having you guys be a part of this channel and this community and all of the support that you guys have given us. And so if you're new here, we would very much love to have you be a part of it. And we want to reach as many people as we possibly can with the most positive message and information that we can along the way for all of the twin flames that are going through this awakening. Also, if you're interested in a one-on-one or joining our group call, like getting our group call membership, which is about 8 to 16 calls per month, depending on which package you get. You'll get to join in and talk with me and Cam and Brent and many other beautiful people who I would consider, to be at the level of mastery in certain areas, that are a part of the community. And they are all here because they want to help. And so you'll also have access to our Facebook group when you sign up for our membership. And then we do have tarot readings, personal tarot readings. So if you're interested in those, check us out in the description box below, or go to the-conduits.com and you can find ways to connect with us there. All right, your oracle card today is time. Time. I'm going to grab the book for this really quick and we'll look it up. I'm also going to give you your numerology number for the day. Oh, we had this yesterday. I'm pretty sure that's the same number that we had yesterday. 5 and 3. Yeah, it is. We had 5 and 3 yesterday. So interesting. We came whole different house, whole different table, whole different set of dice, same number. So that must mean something to someone out there. So we have 53, 35, 8, 5, and 3. So if those numbers mean something to you, there you go. You got them again 2 days in a row. Time stands for discipline. Find out, or time, discipline. Here, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Find out the causes of your procrastination or resistance. Do not miss your opportunities. Someone is wasting your time. Be aware of this. You have finite time on this planet, so use it well. As you grew up, time seemed to pass very slowly and you couldn't wait to grow up. Then conversely, as you aged, time went quickly as you knew it was running out. We have an innate idea of time. But what is it actually? Physics says time is what a clock reads. Simple. Time has also been defined as continued indefinite progress of existence. But it is hard to put a definition to the word without actually using the concept of time. We normally refer to time in what it can do for us and what it means. Humans initially broke time down into measurements of light and dark, day and night, when the sun rose, when it began to circle across the sky, when it is set, when the moon rose and continued its arc. As humans became more sophisticated and began to break down this phenomena into hours, minutes, and seconds, we learned how to accurately measure time through many different cultures. We learned how to accurately measure time, although many different cultures had just as many ways to express time through their calendars. The study of measuring time is called horology. Horus, right? Horology. Time is an important element in the way it combines with other elements. The speed of light, the velocity of an object, time, space, and gravity. I think that we don't want to, waste time, so to speak. But time in itself is also an illusion because you are an eternal being. So time is the experience of progression in your soul's evolution. The only thing that truly ever really exists and is always there is presence and the now moment that you're in, which is why Eckhart Tolle's teachings are so important. So I wouldn't worry so much about time, but I would also use it wisely, right? Because things are like a kaleidoscope in the mirrored outside world. It's constantly changing and shifting. So you want to take advantage of it and not waste it. How's the best way to do that? Not by worrying about the past or fretting about the future, but instead being present in the moment now. When you are present in the moment, you're not going to be wasting time. Really, the only way we waste time is by ruminating thoughts of the past, staying in fearful illusions that are only existing within our mind, and using that time, spending that time in the now moment unwisely. I think that's a better way to explain it. We don't want to spend our time unwisely. Why? Because what you're doing right now is planting seeds toward your future. So in the present moment, the thoughts that you're thinking, the energy that you're spending toward whatever your focus and attention is on, is planting seeds. So make sure that you're planting healthy seeds, things that will bring good fruit into your harvest, not weeds. Pluck the weeds out in the present moment, which is fearful thoughts, things that are not going to point you in the direction or the trajectory of the outcomes that you would like. Okay, this is a big subject to break down. It really, really is. But it's definitely pointing you and your divine masculine into the right direction, which is to focus on the present moment and really go within. Thank you so much for being here today, you guys. I appreciate it. I look forward to tomorrow's reading. And until then, enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye.